Look at these two sentences and focus on the word al-muallim in both of them. Do you see any differences in labels? Are all labels the same? We can say that the word al-muallim has the same labels in both sentences except the last letter. Can you guess why? In today's lesson, we will find out. Hello everyone and welcome to the second lesson of this course, Improve Your Arabic Pronunciation. This is Mustafa Nasser from Arabic for Nuns. In the previous lesson, we introduced the essential four labels in Arabic and we learned together how to pronounce each one of them. We also knew the importance of labels as they manipulate both pronunciation and meaning. We ended the lesson with a question. What are the basic rules of labeling letters in Arabic? There are two rules, and this is what we have for today's lesson. Before that, subscribe my channel, activate the bell, and like the video. Two rules that govern labeling letters in Arabic. I prefer to give examples first, and from our observations, we will extract these two rules together. Check these three sentences for a few moments. جاء المعلم الجديد. رأيت المعلم الجديد. نظرت إلى المعلم الجديد. I want you to focus on the labels of these two words, المعلم and الجديد, in the three sentences and make a comparison. Okay, fine. Let's take the word al-muallim out for each sentence and check the labels. I will remove the label of the last letter for now. If you look closer, you will see the labels of all letters are the same except, of course, for the last one. No any letter takes a different label in any sentence. Let's try this comparison with the word al-jadid. After removing the label of the last letter again, all labels are identical. So this is rule number 1, which says every single letter of a word must have a label, and these labels never change even if the position of the word changes in many contexts. And you should know this rule doesn't apply on the last letter of the word. So originally, we should see any Arabic text labeled like the Quranic text. If you look at it, you can see the labels obviously for every single letter. And also, many books are using labeled text, like the popular grammar book النحو الواضح, the clear grammar, whose text is completely labeled. However, most of written text in newspapers or books are written with no labels. Why? Is because labels for words are known and unchangeable as we observed in rule number 1. So there is no need to put them once you know the labeling of words. But as a beginner, you should read labeled text in early stages, memorize new words alongside their labels, and then you can read them without any label. Let's check the second rule of labels. We have seen letters of the same words have the same labels except the last letter. Let's go back to our example and compare the label of the last letter for the word al-muallim. As we agreed upon, all letters of the word before the last letter have constant labels. So let's drop them for now. Remain the last letter whose label is different. As you see in the first sentence, it takes dhammah, in the second it takes fathah, and in the last one it has kasra. Why? It is the same word and the remaining labels of the word didn't change in the three sentences. Could it be its position? Let's check. The position of the word al-muallim in the first sentence is a subject of a verbal sentence, فاعل. In the second sentence, it's an object, مفعول به, and in the last one, it's a genitive noun, اسم مجرور. That's why its label changed. So this is the second rule. The label of the last letter in a word is determined based on its position in the sentence or its grammatical function, which we call in Arabic al-i'rab. There is a common lesson about al-i'rab and its basics on this channel. On the other hand, the remaining letters of the word have the same labels with no change in the three sentences despite the change in the word's position. Let's wrap up the final result of our observations. Every letter in the word has a fixed and constant label that will never change under any circumstance, except the last letter of the word, whose label will be determined based on its function in the sentence or its i'rab. Now, when you memorize the word muallim for the first time, you need to see the labels of each letter to be able to pronounce it correctly. Later on, you don't need to see labels because you already knew the pronunciation and also because labels are constant for all letters except the last one. So now, you will have to worry only about the case ending or the label of the last letter, which can be determined by the word's position. And here, I want to stop for a second. Many beginners, whenever they see a single word, they used to give it ضمة as a default label, like زينب, محمد, فاطمة, البيت, الرجل, المعلم. In case of indefinite noun, they make it tanween with ضمة. مسجد, مدرسة, ولد, بيت, and so on. It becomes so serious that many non-natives used to spell some Arabic names together with ضمة as if ضمة is an original part of the word. Like the name of this football player, Muhammadu. And it happens with lots of names, زينب, فاطمة, زبير, أحمد. Even Google Translate, if you type any single word, it will pronounce it with ضمة.
معلم المعلم بيت محمد فاطمة.
I don't agree with that. The reason is we don't know for sure what the ending label will be. It might be any of the three labels, ضمة, فتحة, or كسرة, or even سكون in some special cases. If I have a single word like this and someone asks me, what is the ending label of this word? The answer is, I don't know. You have to put it in a sentence first, and from its position, its grammatical function, from its i'rab in the sentence, we will find out which label will it take, as it might change from sentence to another, as we have seen with the word al-muallim previously. So in case we have a single word, it's better to leave the last letter consonant with no label at all. Al-bayt, رجل, معلم, محمد, فاطمة. If you want to give it ضمة, it's okay, but you should know it might be ضمة or any other label. Let's now have some examples on pronouncing words. As we agreed upon in the first lesson, pronunciation in Arabic is letter-based, which means we shall pronounce obviously two things for every single letter in a word, its sound and its label. Let's look at this word and try to analyze it. I will follow a slow and step-by-step process to make it obvious to you. The first letter has the sound k, k. Let's type it. That's not enough. Remain the label. I will look on top or below the letter for its label. It has fatha on top, which is given the sound e. So this letter is being pronounced as k. Then repeat the process with the remaining letters. The second one has the sound t. And the label is fatha as well. We add a. Te. And the last one has the sound b. And again, the label is fatha. B. So these are the separate letters of this word, each one with its label. K, te, b. K, te, b. All together will be كتب. As you see, no any tricky thing about it. And here, someone might disagree with me and say, you just said not to give the last letter of a single word any label, and here you decided to put fatha. Why, sir? It's because this is a past verb, and the default indent label of a regular past verb is fatha. But thank you for the question. You look sharp. Let's try another example. Another past verb. The sound of the first letter is equivalent to the English sound sh, sh. And this letter is labeled with dhammah on top, which is given the sound o, o. So the first letter will be pronounced as shu, shu. The second has the sound r, r. And with kasra label, it will be ri, ri. The last one, ba, ba. All together, shu, ri, ba, shuriba, shuriba. I insisted to spell every letter alone to emphasize that pronunciation in Arabic is letter-based. The sound as well as the label of every letter must be obvious. That's why I pronounce them slowly and one after the other. I'll stop here for now. In the next lesson, we will focus more on sukun, which indicates consonant sounds. There is a lot to learn about sukun, and then we will practice together some spelling exercises. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, activate the bell, and leave a comment. You can also check the links for my social media accounts and communities in the video description below. See you in the next lesson.